Imagine your day as a completely blank canvas. In your hand is the brush, and every decision, every action you take is a stroke on that canvas. The question is, what will you paint? Each passing day is not just time, it is an opportunity. An opportunity for you to grow, to discipline yourself, to take one more step closer to success. But success does not come from luck, nor from dramatic breakthroughs in life. Success comes from very small things, repeated daily, simple disciplines practiced consistently. I have learned that the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people does not lie in circumstances nor in luck. It lies in how they use their day. Failures often make a few small mistakes, but repeat them every day. Conversely, successful people cultivate a few small disciplines, but practice them relentlessly. Throughout my journey, I have distilled 10 of the most important things you must work on every single day. If you practice them consistently, you will completely transform the quality of your life, your work, and your relationships. No magic is needed, no waiting for a special day. Just by improving a little bit each day, your life will be changed forever. So what are those 10 things? Let's begin with the very first one, the foundation of all success. Principle 1, attitude. The foundation of all success. Imagine you are building a house. You may have the best bricks and the most modern designs, but if the foundation is weak, the entire house cannot stand firm. Life works the same way. Your attitude is the foundation. It determines how you see the world, how you respond to challenges, and how others respond to you. If that foundation is strong, everything else becomes easier. I have met many people who are intelligent, talented, and even full of opportunities, but because of their negative attitude, doors gradually closed on them. They complained, criticized, and always saw problems instead of solutions. As a result, they built a wall between themselves and opportunities. On the other hand, I have met people who did not start from favorable circumstances, yet, with a positive attitude, they attracted help, built trust, and step by step went further than they ever imagined. Attitude is like a magnet. If you carry optimism, faith, and gratitude, you will draw opportunities, people, and resources toward you. But if you constantly radiate negative energy, you will drive away all the good things that could come your way. And here's the wonderful part. Attitude is not something you are born with. It can be trained every single day. Start with small things. Today you can choose to see failure not as the end, but as a lesson. Tomorrow you can focus on what you are grateful for instead of what you lack. The day after, you can choose to smile at an unpleasant situation instead of frowning. Each small change, if repeated, becomes a habit, and that habit will shape a positive attitude toward life. I remember once talking with a young entrepreneur. He complained that his business was not progressing, his partners didn't trust him, and his employees were unmotivated. I asked him, "Do you think your attitude affects them?" He hesitated and admitted, "Maybe I often come across as irritable and impatient." Just one small change, focusing on encouragement instead of criticism, helped him transform his entire team. 6 months later, his company thrived, and he told me, "Jim, I didn't change my employees, I only changed myself." One image I often use is that of glasses. If you wear dark gray lenses, the whole world looks gloomy. But if you change to clear lenses, the sky becomes bright again. The problem is not the world, it's how you choose to see it. Attitude is the lens you wear every day. Now stop for a moment and ask yourself, in the past week, what opportunities has my attitude opened for me? And on the other hand, what doors has my attitude unintentionally closed? If you answer this question honestly, you will realize tremendous power of attitude. And as you train to improve it day by day, you will see your relationships grow warmer, your work flow more smoothly, and your life become more fulfilling. Remember, you don't need to change the entire world overnight. You only need to add one small brick each day to the foundation of a positive attitude. Over time, you will build a structure so solid that no difficulty can shake it. And once you have laid a strong foundation with the right attitude, the next thing you must develop is self-discipline, the bridge that takes you from goals to achievements. Principle 2, self-discipline, the bridge to achievement. If attitude is the foundation, then self-discipline is the bridge that takes you from goals to achievements. You can dream a lot. You can write down dozens of goals. You can read hundreds of books, but without the discipline to take consistent action every day, everything will remain just a dream. Self-discipline is not about restriction, nor about being coldly strict. It is the art of doing what is necessary, even when you don't feel like doing it. Simply put, discipline is the ability to make yourself do what must be done regardless of your mood or emotions. I once knew a young man full of talent. He started many projects with incredible enthusiasm. But after just a few weeks, when the initial excitement wore off, he would quit and jump to another idea. The result? He completed nothing fully. One day I told him, what you lack is not talent or ideas. What you lack is the discipline to see things through. He began by practicing small things, finishing one book, instead of leaving it halfway, exercising for 15 minutes a day, instead of procrastinating. Gradually, these habits grew. A few years later, he was running a successful business. He shared with me, what changed my life was not a big idea, but learning how to finish small things every day. Discipline is like a muscle. If you train it daily, it grows stronger. But if you neglect it, it weakens. The key is, you don't need to start with massive challenges. Begin with small actions, waking up on time, writing down the 3 most important tasks of the day, or resisting the urge to check your phone during the first 30 minutes of the morning. These small disciplines, when repeated, become habits, and those habits lead you to great achievements. Picture a mighty river. The water doesn't surge instantly. It starts with tiny drops flowing steadily, patiently, gradually carving deep, until it becomes a powerful current. Discipline works the same way. It doesn't need to explode in one day. Just steady, unceasing flow will create immense power. I want you to pause and ask yourself, what is something I know I should do but keep procrastinating on? Maybe it's starting to exercise, reading a book, calling a friend to apologize, or planning your finances. Pick one thing and begin today. Don't wait for inspiration. Inspiration comes and goes, but discipline keeps you on the path. There's a quote I love. Without discipline, there is no success. Discipline is the price you pay for freedom. You may think freedom means doing whatever you want, but in reality, true freedom comes from self-control. When you have the discipline to eat healthy, you gain freedom in health. When you have financial discipline, you gain freedom in money. When you have study discipline, you gain the freedom to choose your career path. Here's the secret. Discipline is not just about forcing yourself every day. Discipline becomes much easier when you turn it into automatic habits. Once an action is repeated long enough, it becomes part of who you are. Just like brushing your teeth in the morning, you don't need motivation, you do it because it's ingrained. You and I both have big dreams, but only those with discipline turn dreams into reality. Remember, every time you choose action over procrastination, you are strengthening the bridge to success. And once you've built the right attitude and steady discipline, the next thing you need to develop is your mindset-breaking limiting beliefs to unlock your true potential. Principle 3 mindset, breaking limiting beliefs. Throughout my journey, I've realized that the greatest enemy of success is not circumstances nor other people, it's the limits within our own minds. We often think we cannot simply because we've never tried. We believe we're not worthy just because someone once planted words of doubt in us. These limiting beliefs are like invisible chains that hold us back and stop us from moving forward. I once met a man who constantly told himself, "I'm not good at business. I can't lead." He had talent and ambition, but whenever opportunity came, he stepped back. Not because he lacked ability, but because he had convinced himself he wasn't good enough. One day I asked him, "Who told you that he was silent?" Then he realized it was just a careless remark from an old friend, yet he had carried it in his heart for years. When he began replacing that belief with a new one, "I can learn, I can grow," his life transformed. A few years later, he became an outstanding leader. You see, beliefs are simply thoughts repeated over and over. And here's the good news. Thoughts can change. You don't have to stay stuck in "I can't." You can shift it into "I'm learning how to." That is the power of mindset. Imagine your mind as a garden. If you plant negative seeds, "I'm not smart enough. I don't deserve it. Weeds will grow and cover everything." But if you plant positive seeds, "I can learn. I can change gradually." That garden will be filled with good fruit. The question is, what seeds are you planting each day? One of the most powerful ways to train a positive mindset is through gratitude and solution-oriented thinking. Instead of focusing on the problem, focus on what you can do. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" A small change in your question opens up an entirely different world. I remember meeting a young man who saw difficulties in everything. He failed once and took it as proof that he was born to fail. I told him, "No one is born to fail. Failure is just a classroom." The question is, are you willing to stay in that classroom and learn the lesson? When he began to change his perspective, seeing failure as data, not a verdict, he grew more resilient. Gradually, he turned his setbacks into stepping stones for growth. Now I want you to pause and ask yourself, what limiting beliefs are living in my mind? Where did they come from? And if I replace them with empowering beliefs, how would my life be different? You may realize that many of the limits you believe in are illusions. We are not trapped by real walls, but by imagined ones. And believe me, once you break through those walls, you'll be amazed at how far you can go. A positive attitude gives you the foundation, discipline gives you the strength to act, and the right mindset opens horizons you never dared to imagine before. But to keep your direction clear, you need a compass. The compass is your purpose in life. Principle 4, life purpose. The compass that guides you. Picture yourself in the middle of a vast ocean. Your ship is sturdy, the sails are full of wind, but without a compass you will drift aimlessly. Your life purpose is that compass. It tells you why you get up every morning, why you endure hardship, and why you keep going even when motivation fades. I've met many people who had everything: money, status, fame. But when I asked them, why are you doing all of this, many couldn't answer. And then even at the height of success, they felt empty inside. On the other hand, I've seen ordinary people, a devoted teacher, a loving father, a young person serving the community. They weren't loud or flashy yet. They radiated powerful energy because they clearly knew their purpose. Purpose is not something you discover in a single day. It's like a seed. You need to plant it, nurture it, and care for it over time. Maybe today it's not clear to you. But if you're patient, if you listen to your heart and learn from your experiences, it will grow stronger and give you lasting direction. I remember a conversation with a successful businessman. He had everything others dreamed of: a big company, wealth-wide connections. Yet one evening he admitted to me, "Jim, I don't understand why I still feel empty." I asked him, "Why are you doing all of this?" He was silent. Later he began a journey to rediscover, meaning not just to make money, but to create positive impact. He used his success to support poor students, to fund community projects. And for the first time in years, he found true joy. Purpose gives you strength to endure. When you know your why, you can handle almost any what or how. Challenges that might have made you quit now become tests of patience. Think of a lighthouse. In the dark of night, storms may block your vision, but the light from the lighthouse still shows the way. Life purpose works the same. It doesn't erase challenges, but it gives you light so you won't lose your path. Now, I want you to ask yourself, if today were my last day, what would I want to be remembered for? What am I living for, and where am I headed? The question may be tough, but it helps you touch the depth of your being. Your purpose might be raising your children to be good people. It might be contributing to your community, or it could simply be becoming a better version of yourself each day. There's no right or wrong, only what makes your life meaningful. And once you discover your purpose, everything else aligns. Your work becomes more valuable. Your relationships become deeper. Failures turn into lessons because you now have a big enough why to overcome any how along the way. A positive attitude gives you the foundation. Discipline gives you strength. Mindset expands your potential, and life purpose sets your direction. But to share and connect with the world, you need an essential skill: communication. Principle 5, communication. The door to connection and influence. If attitude is the foundation, discipline is the bridge, and purpose is the compass, then communication is the door that opens you to the world. Because no success happens in isolation. Success always comes through people, and to reach people, you must know how to communicate. Communication is not just about speaking. It is the art of listening, understanding, and conveying value. Many people think that talking a lot or talking well makes them good communicators. But in reality, great leaders are often those who listen more than they speak. They listen to understand, not just to reply. I remember once during a training session, a young man asked me, "Jim, how can I make others want to listen to me?" I smiled and replied, "First, be the one who truly wants to listen to them." You see, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Think about the misunderstandings in your life. How many conflicts arose simply because you thought the other person meant one thing, but in fact they meant something else? A vague sentence can damage a relationship. But a clear, sincere word combined with attentive listening can heal and strengthen bonds. Communication is like a bridge between two islands. If the bridge is weak and half-built, the connection will be shaky. But if the bridge is strong, traffic flows smoothly and both sides benefit. In business, effective communication creates trust and agreements. In family, it nurtures love and understanding. In society, it expands influence and connection. One way to practice communication daily is to start with active listening. Truly look into the eyes of the speaker, focus on their words, and try to understand the emotions behind them. Tomorrow you can practice expressing your thoughts more simply, briefly, and honestly. The next day you can practice giving compliments instead of criticism. Small improvements repeated daily will make you a more engaging communicator. I once knew a great leader. He wasn't the most eloquent speaker, but when you spoke with him, you felt like the most important person in the room. He listened, nodded, asked questions, and made the other person feel understood. That was what earned him absolute loyalty from his employees and respect from his partners. Now I want you to stop and ask yourself, when was the last time I truly listened to someone without interrupting? Am I communicating to connect or just to respond? Communication will not become perfect in a single day. But if you improve just 1% daily listening, 1 more minute saying thank you, 1 more time expressing yourself a little more clearly, over time, you will become a person of great influence. Remember, success is not only about what you know, but also how you share it and who you connect with. Communication is the tool that turns knowledge into influence, ideas, into action, and relationships into opportunities. And once you've learned to communicate effectively, the next thing you must master is time management. Because no matter how talented you are, without mastering time, you will always stay busy without moving far. Principle 6, time management, the most equal asset in life. In life, there is one asset that we are all given equally 24 hours each day. Whether rich or poor, successful or struggling, everyone has the same amount of time. The difference lies in how you use it. I often say, you can't manage days or years, but you can manage yourself within that time. In reality, time management is about managing priorities and focus. Think of a glass jar. If you pour in sand first, then pebbles, and finally try to fit the big rocks, there will be no room left. But if you place the big rocks, the most important tasks first, then add the pebbles, and sand, everything fits perfectly. Life works the same way. If you let small distractions and trivial tasks fill your day, you'll have no time for what truly matters. I once met a man who constantly complained, "Jim, I don't have enough time." But when I looked closely, I saw he spent hours scrolling on his phone, watching TV, or engaging in meaningless conversations. I asked him, "Do you really lack time, or are you wasting it on things that bring no value?" After that, he started to change, writing down his top 3 priorities each morning, turning off notifications while working, setting fixed times for family. Just a few months later, he achieved more while feeling less stressed. One of the most powerful principles is the 80/20 rule. 80% of results come from 20% of actions. If you focus on the few tasks with the greatest impact, you save massive amounts of time. Ask yourself today, what 20% of tasks will create 80% of the results? And am I truly spending my time on them? Time management doesn't mean working non-stop without rest. In fact, resting at the right time is part of productivity. Like a bow and arrow, you must pull back to shoot farther. Some people work 10, 12 hours a day, but are ineffective because they don't know how to recharge. Rest is not a waste. It's an investment to help you work with greater focus. Picture time as a flowing river. It moves steadily, never stops, never flows backward. You cannot block it, but you can choose how to move within it. You can swim against the current, exhausting yourself without progress, or you can learn to use the flow to move forward faster. You don't need complex tools to manage time. Just a few simple habits can change everything. Plan your day each morning or the night before. Eliminate at least one unimportant task daily. Focus on one task for 25-30 minutes, then take a short break, Pomodoro technique. Learn to say no to things that don't serve your goals. I've seen people transform their careers just by managing their time better. They didn't do more, they did the right things. And the miracle is when you master your time, you also master your life. Now stop and write down, what are the 3 most important things I must complete tomorrow? Start from there. You'll be surprised at how your productivity and confidence grow within just 1 week. Attitude gives you the foundation. Discipline gives you strength, mindset, and purpose. Provide direction, communication connects you, and time management helps you move faster and more sustainably. But there's still another vital element, knowledge, the treasure you must accumulate every day. Principle 7, knowledge, the treasure you must accumulate every day. There's a saying I always repeat, formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. Knowledge is the fuel for growth. In a world that constantly changes, if you don't learn every day, you'll fall behind. The marketplace doesn't care what you knew yesterday. What matters is what new knowledge you've gained today to create value. I once met a young man who complained, "Jim, I don't have opportunities to advance." When I asked how many books he had read in the past year, he went silent. The answer was none. He worked hard, but he never invested in improving himself. I told him, if you want to have more first, you must become more. And the fastest way to become more is through continuous learning. He started small, reading 10 pages a day, listening to personal development audios while driving. A year later, he was trusted by his leaders and given more responsibility. Knowledge is like a personal bank. Each day you deposit a little, and over time you accumulate a treasure. And the magic is, this treasure never disappears. It follows you for life. And the more you use it, the more it multiplies. You can start with small steps. Read a chapter of a book in your field. Listen to a 15-minute podcast on life skills. Take a short online course. Write down 3 things you learned today. What matters is not cramming knowledge in one day, but learning a little every day consistently. Picture knowledge as an endless staircase. Each day you take one more step. It may only be a few centimeters higher, but after a year you'll be standing on an entirely different level. I remember my great mentor, Mr. Showoff, once told me, Jim, the more you learn, the more you earn. And I realized it's not just about money, confidence, creativity, and the ability to contribute also grow with the knowledge you accumulate. Now stop and ask yourself, what new thing have I learned in the last 24 hours? And tomorrow, what will I learn to bring me closer to my goals? This question may seem simple, but if applied daily, it will completely change your life. Because when you grow a little each day within a few years, you'll become a completely new person. But knowledge is not just for accumulation, it must be applied. If you learn without acting, knowledge will sleep in your mind. But if you learn and apply, you turn knowledge into skills, and skills into real value. That value brings opportunities, income, and influence. Remember, every book you read, every idea you learn is a brick that builds your future. If you want a great life, build it on the solid foundation of knowledge. And once you've learned how to accumulate knowledge, the next thing is knowing how to manage and use another essential resource, your finances. Principle 8, finances. Managing money to master your life. Have you ever wondered why some people earn a lot of money yet still live in constant worry, while others with modest incomes live comfortably and at peace? The answer lies in how they manage their finances. Money is not just a means of exchange. It's also a reflection of your discipline and vision. I've often said, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. Some people have high incomes, but spend recklessly, leaving their accounts empty at the end of the month. Others know how to save, invest, and build healthy financial habits. Even if they start small, they gradually accumulate real stability and wealth. A young friend once came to me complaining, Jim, I never have enough money. I asked, do you track your spending? He shook his head. In truth, many people don't know exactly where their money goes. Simply by recording daily expenses, you'll be surprised at how much is wasted on small, frequent leaks. When this young man began keeping records and setting spending limits in just 3 months, he saved more than he thought possible. Think of finances as a garden. If you plant but never tend it, weeds will take over. But if you plant the right seeds, water them, and remove weeds, the garden will flourish. Money works the same way. If you let it flow away unmanaged, it will disappear. But if you take charge, it will multiply and bear fruit. Here are 3 simple principles you can apply immediately. 1, spend less than you earn. Sounds simple, but many people break this rule. 2, save and invest a fixed portion. As soon as you receive income, set aside at least 10% for savings or investment instead of waiting for leftovers. 3, eliminate bad debt. Don't let consumer debt trap you. Pay it down and learn to live within your means. I once worked with a young couple who constantly argued about money. They earned well, but by the end of each month, it was all gone. Reviewing their expenses, we found most of their money went to unnecessary shopping and credit card debt. They began applying the 50-30-20 rule: 50% for essentials, 30% for wants, 20% for savings and investments. 6 months later, they were debt-free and had their first real savings. They told me, we feel freer than ever. Now ask yourself, am I controlling my money, or is money controlling me? Practicing financial management not only brings stability, it brings freedom. Freedom to choose to live by your values and to give. And remember, true wealth isn't just about your bank balance, but about turning money into a tool that serves your life's purpose. When you know how to manage your finances, you won't just live more securely. You'll also have the resources to invest in the next crucial area. Personal growth, becoming a better version of yourself every day. Principle 9, personal growth. Becoming a better version of yourself every day. There's an important truth I always remind myself of. You cannot achieve more if you don't become more. Success is not something you pursue, it is the result of the person you become. And the only way to become a better version of yourself is through continuous personal growth. Many people think personal growth is just about reading books or taking courses. But in reality, it is a lifelong journey, a journey of self-awareness, habit, change, learning new skills, and removing the things that hold you back. It's not a destination, it's a process. I remember a friend who told me he felt stuck in his career. He worked hard, but nothing changed. I asked him, "How much time do you spend each day on personal growth?" He smiled sheepishly, "Almost none." I encouraged him to start small, spend 30 minutes a day reading in his field or practice a new skill. 6 months later, he came back and said, "Jim, that one small habit changed everything. I feel more confident and more opportunities are coming my way." Personal growth is like sharpening a blade. Left alone, it grows dull over time. But if you patiently sharpen it daily, it stays sharp and useful. Your life is the same. It doesn't get better on its own. It requires intentional effort. There are 3 areas you can start developing today. 1, self-awareness. Understand your strengths, weaknesses, values, and habits. 2, new skills. Learn something that supports your career or life, such as communication, emotional management, or technology. 3, attitude and emotions. Train how you react to challenges. Stay calm and positive even in tough situations. One of the most powerful tools of personal growth is goal setting. But not just writing vague lines like "I want to be rich" or "I want to be happy." Effective goals are clear, specific, and tied to your values. With clear goals, personal growth has direction instead of being a vague effort. Think of personal growth as climbing a mountain. Each small step may not feel like much, but after a year you'll look back and realize how high you've climbed. And the beauty is the summit is not the only reward. The journey itself shapes you into a new person. Now stop and ask yourself, in the next 30 days, in what area can I grow? And what small action can I start today? It could be reading a book, practicing a habit, or learning a skill. Don't wait for the perfect time. Start now with small steps. When you commit to personal growth, you not only improve your own life, but you also inspire those around you, because you cannot give what you do not have. As you become better, you naturally help others become better too. And once you've invested in becoming the best version of yourself, you'll discover a key secret to keeping your heart open and your life fulfilled, living with gratitude. Principle 10, gratitude, the power that enriches the soul. If I had to choose one habit that can transform life, the fastest I would choose gratitude. Gratitude is like a key. When you turn it, the doors to peace, joy, and inner strength open wide. You see, we humans often focus more on what we lack than on what we already have. We compare ourselves with others and end up feeling dissatisfied. But when you shift your focus to what you're grateful for, you move from scarcity to abundance. And that shift in perspective changes your emotions, your actions, and your entire life. I once knew a woman who went through an incredibly tough time. She lost her job, lost an important relationship, and felt as though every door had closed. When I met her, she said, "Jim, I don't see anything to be grateful for." I told her, start with the smallest things. A friend who still stands by you, a simple meal, or even just the breath you're taking right now. At first she resisted, but each day she wrote down 3 things she was grateful for. Gradually her eyes lit up again, her smile returned. A year later, she not only found a new job, but also rebuilt a happier life. She told me, "It was gratitude that helped me stand back up." Gratitude is like a filter on the lens of life. When you look through it, everything appears brighter even in hard times. The storm doesn't disappear, but you can see the rainbow after the rain. Practicing gratitude doesn't have to be complicated. You can start by writing down 3 things you're thankful for each day, or spend 5 minutes before bed reflecting on the good things that happened. You can also express gratitude, directly send a thank you message, give a hug, or simply say kind words to someone who helped you. The miracle is the more grateful you are, the more things you attract to be grateful for. Like a snowball rolling down a hill, gratitude grows and fills your life with abundance. Ask yourself right now, what is one thing in my life today that I can be grateful for? No matter how small, it could be a good friend, a health to work, or simply the sunlight shining through your window this morning. When you focus on those things, you'll realize you're far richer than you thought. One of gratitude's greatest gifts is that it makes you more humble and generous. When you appreciate what you have, it becomes easier to share with others. And when you give, you receive even more. Gratitude is also medicine for hard days. When you face loss, failure, or challenges, finding even one reason to be thankful helps you stay strong and not give up. It doesn't erase the pain, but it gives you the strength to endure. Remember, gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a habit to be trained. Like a muscle, the more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. And once gratitude becomes part of you, your life will shine no matter the circumstances. So now we've journeyed through 10 powerful principles to practice daily. But the journey doesn't end here. What matters most is how you combine them into a lifestyle. We have just journeyed together through 10 important principles to practice every day: attitude, self-discipline, mindset, life purpose, communication, time management, knowledge, finances, personal growth, and gratitude. Each of these may seem small, but when practiced consistently, they create an extraordinary life. I want you to remember, this success does not come from one giant leap, but from small steps repeated daily. Failures also repeat, but they repeat mistakes. Successful people repeat disciplines. And the difference between those two paths is the difference between failure and success. Think of life as a giant canvas. Every day you add one stroke. Today's stroke may be small, unclear, but over time, all of them come together into a masterpiece. Success is not a single moment, it is the sum of what you do every day. I've witnessed many people transform their lives simply by applying one of these principles. One person adjusted their attitude and opportunities came. Another learned to manage finances and gradually escape debt. Someone else simply wrote down 3 things to be grateful for every day and their life lit up. Small changes create big impact. Now ask yourself, which of these 10 will I start with first? What action can I take today? Don't wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. Choose one, just one, and begin improving by 1% each day. A slightly better attitude, slightly stronger discipline, a little more knowledge. 1 year from now, you'll be a completely different person. I often remind people, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. So begin your journey today. Turn small disciplines into habits into a lifestyle, and let that lifestyle lead you to the life you truly want. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the Jim Rohn Treasures channel so we can spread these lessons further. I'd also love to hear your thoughts of these 10 principles. Which one will you start applying today? Leave your answer in the comments. I'll read and reply because I believe your story can inspire others too. And finally, let me close with a powerful reminder. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan, and guess what they have planned for you? Not much. So design your life starting with small things beginning today. See you in the next video.